Hello everyone, welcome back to Perfectly Imperfect Designs. My name's Teresa, and today I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this Easter cross out of one yardstick. Now what I'm going to do is get my pen and mark. I'm going to mark where I want my crossbar to go. I think about right here I'll mark. Okay. I'm going to be using hot glue and E6000. So I'm just going to use the E6000, just a little bit is all I need. And a tad of hot glue. I want my cross to look proportioned. So I'm going to go right here with it. So now I'm going to clamp these together and let this dry. For a few hours anyway. Okay guys, now that my cross has had a chance to let the glue set up, now I'm going to paint my cross. In the end, you're not going to be able to see this anyway. Don't need a lot of paint on there. Nobody's going to see the back. I may go ahead and paint the back as well. And this is just a nice way to do it if you can't find the Dollar Tree cross. I haven't been able to find them yet. So I thought I would do it this way. And then I'll come back and show you my idea. I'll get more paint on my hand than I do on the cross, of course. Okay, you guys, this is the dried front of my cross. It's made out of the yardsticks, and I'm going to go ahead and paint the back just to give it a more finished look. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't even have to do this part. This is a very old yardstick, and I want to make sure that it looks nice. Be making a cross without using pipe cleaners, without using poofs or ruffles or anything like that. And nobody's going to see hardly any of this, but when I do get the petals on there, if by chance you can see through one of them, I want the color to be coordinating with my petals that I'm going to be making. Okay guys, I'm back. Our yardstick cross is painted and dried. I let it sit overnight to give it time to really be secure with the E6000 and the hot glue. Now, the method that I'm going to be doing again on this is I'm going to be making the Rita petal, kind of like I did on my other cross that I made, my other video with the purple cross that I made out of the 2 candy canes. So I'm going to be using this mesh right here. I'll have the description number in the I'll have the number for the mesh in the description below. This can be purchased at Craft Outlet. Now this is 10 inches wide, and I'm going to be cutting my strips again at 10 inches long so that I will have a perfect square. I would burn the mesh so that it doesn't fray. Well, it prevents it from fraying as much. There's no such thing as mesh that does not fray, regardless of how you cut it. So I'm going to be using this wide foil. I think this is like a turquoise mesh. I'm also going to be using this gold. It's called windowpane deco mesh, and it's really pretty. And I'm also going to be cutting this at 10 inches long because it is 10 inches wide, so that I will have a perfect square. Now I've already wood burned my squares, So what I'm going to do is go from here and show you how I'm going to make the petal. Also, for this project, it's easier to make these if you get these little rubber bands from the Dollar Tree. You don't necessarily have to have these. You can just make the petal, slip it straight into the zip tie, and zip it up. I just find it easier to make the petals beforehand and then put them on my cross, regardless of what kind of cross, whether it's a yardstick, candy cane cross, unique in the creek board. I like to make my petals to begin with. So I'm going to set the cross aside. We'll start out with the gold. And what I have to do, see, this is the gold. Let me pull my sleeves up. I realized I had this stuff sticks to everything, guys, like I said. So a sweater probably wasn't my best thing to decide to wear, but that's what I did. Okay, you got a 10-inch square. You fold it up into a triangle and try to make sure that your edges are as close as possible, which if you really stick to the 10-inch square, it should fold up perfectly almost. And if it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so I folded it up into a triangle. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to start on this end and just scrunch my way to this end and flip it up. And after I get the rubber band on it, I'm just going to shape it out a little bit. Again, this is called the Rita petal. I did not create it. It's been around for a while. So this is the Rita petal with the gold mesh. It stands up, looks like bunny ears or flames. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to show you how we're going to do it with the turquoise. Okay, this is the turquoise mesh that I've cut to 10 inches. So it should be approximately 10 inches, a 10-inch square. So curled side up, fold it into a triangle. Do your best at matching up the edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. You could go up this way. I just find it easier to start at the point. That way I know I'm going to end in the middle up here. So I scrunch and flip it up. You know, and if it doesn't come out exactly even up here, you can always manipulate it, move it around to where it's going to be somewhat the same. You just kind of want to make sure it's the same height as you're making these. Put my rubber band on here. And then kind of shape it out. And then you have the Rita petal. It's a very unique petal, a delicate petal. That's what I like about it. So let me make one more, and then we're going to start putting them on the cross, our yardstick cross. Again, if your petals are not exactly 10 inches, it doesn't matter. And you don't have to use this kind of mesh. You can use whatever kind of mesh you have on hand. This is just the mesh that I chose. You scrunch it up and flip it up. Deco mesh has a mind of its own, so you kind of have to put it where you want it. And put the rubber band around it. Now you can skip the rubber band altogether, make the petal, slip it into the zip tie that we're going to have on the yardstick cross, and go from there. I just find it easier to do this. One more turquoise one, and then we're going to start putting the petals on the cross. Square, turn it into a triangle, so, you know, like this piece was not cut exactly, but you don't have to worry about it. Nobody's going to notice if they're exactly the same. And you scrunch it down here. Rubber band on it, shape it out. No, I don't have this one in the middle. So, since I don't have this one in the middle, I'm going to redo it. I've got one side bigger than the other. You can buy these rubber bands at the Dollar Tree, of course, for $1, and I think there's 1,000 in the pack, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 500 or 1,000. Okay, I'm going to turn this over just a bit so I can put my tie in it, or my rubber band, so that my points on the top of my Rita petal are the same size. And there you go. You have the Rita petal. Now this one was cut a little bit big, I think. I'm just going to put a few up here. We no longer need the rubber bands, so I'm going to put these away. If they spill, that's a lot to clean up. They'll be everywhere. Okay, I'm using 6-inch zip ties. Let me double check that. Yes, I'm using 6-inch zip ties. And I like this length because it's thin. And since our yardstick cross is pretty thin, I just think that this will go on it better, be more secure and tight to hold down our petal. So, first I'm going to put a few on here. I don't know how many it's going to take us. I'm just going to put some on. This is the first time I've ever made a cross with the Rita petal on a yardstick cross. I've made yardstick crosses before, but not using the Rita petal. Using regular deco mesh with the puff with the poof or the ruffle. But I just love this petal. It's so unique and so pretty. And this doesn't have to be an Easter cross. This can be an everyday cross. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 on here. So we're going to move one down, start at the bottom. I'm going to start with my gold petals. I'm going to put this on the very bottom. Move my zip tie down, put that in there, and tighten it up. I got to use my needle nose pliers to tighten it up to make it tight. And I'll cut this off. My trash can closer. Put any turquoise up here. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the turquoise. I'm going to move the zip tie down. Put the piece inside there. Scoot it down so that it's overlapping the gold. And you're not going to be able to see the zip tie on the gold. And then you want to make sure that's down far enough. Tighten it up. And I painted the cross the turquoise color. I'm not sure what it's showing up, you know, like on the camera. But just in case you're able to see through this gold window pane mesh, I wanted it to kind of, you know, match. So here we go with the gold. Move the zip tie down. Which way do I want this? I think I want it this way. Move it down. Put your little gather that you've made, the rubber band around it, on there. Here in a minute I'm going to turn this sideways. I think you can see it better from the side. Okay. Let me turn this to the side. I think you'll get a better view. Okay. Now we're going to put this one on. I'm going to pull down this zip tie, put it over that, where we gathered the Rita petal, and put the rubber band around it. And like I said, you could make the Rita petal and just slip it in here and pull it tight. You don't have to use the rubber band. You can skip that step totally. But I just find it easier to have them all prepared and tighten it up. I have a really hard time finding crosses at the Dollar Tree. I have a hard time finding cross frames because they're very popular around Easter time. So I make my own. And I think this one turned out really pretty. I didn't necessarily have to paint it. I just wanted it to have more finished look so that the back would be painted as well. You want your zip ties in the back to look nice and finished. Okay, back to the gold. Put that on there. Pull this up over our rubber band. Make sure it's centered. And goes along with the other petals. Turn it. And tighten it up. I'm going to be putting a bow in the middle of this cross. Okay, now we're moving on to the turquoise ones. I just love this. It's so shiny. It may look blue and oh, what am I doing? That's wrong. Goes this way. I didn't want to put too many zip ties on here and then have to cut a bunch of them off. So I just started out with, I think I said 6 or, yeah. Okay, put this one on. Make sure it's lined up with this rubber band. And tighten it up. Look at it this way and make sure that it is a straight line through here. Okay, cut that off. I think I'll add about 3 more zip ties right here. And just wrap it around and just wait till it clicks. That's all you need. This around and wait till it clicks. I think I'll put 3 for now. I may need one more before we get to the center, but I'm putting a bow in the center, so we're going to stop before we get right to the center. You don't have to, I mean, you can do it any way you want to, but you could even skip the bow and just put the petals all the way up and have them meet here in the middle. But I'm going to make a bow for the middle. Okay, now the gold. Slide this down. The petal in there. Make sure it's lined up. Maybe you could see better like this. Make sure it's lined up. Pull the zip tie. Kind of shape it out a little bit. And cut it off. Okay, we're on to the turquoise. Get the zip tie. You want to put this really overlapping the previous one. Like that. And tighten it up. This is somewhat like my candy cane Easter cross that I made. The pattern of the mesh originally was created by Lori Franklin. She owns Unique in the Creek. I love doing Unique in the Creek boards. I'm going to be doing an angel wing Unique in the Creek board for loved ones that lost someone recently. So, okay, I have one more right here. So I'm going to put this in here. And shape it out. And I think this one's as close as I'm going to get to the middle. And clip this off. Okay, for our petals up at the top, I'm going to start putting the petals the opposite way so that they're going up. And I think I'm going to start with gold. Get some more petals up here. Like I said, I've made quite a few. I prepared petals, and I can always make another cross. I have enough to make one more cross after this. But while I'm at it, you guys, hey, please like and subscribe and share my video. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. I've worked really hard to get here. And if you would like and subscribe and share, that would mean the world to me. And that way you'll see my new content every time I come out with a video or a live video. So, okay, now we're going to start up here. Since we started with gold down here, I'm going to start up here with gold. I got to get my zip ties on. You know, the mesh is your only cost, really. This yardstick was down in my basement. And I thought, why not make a cross out of it? So that's what I did. And again, I'll have the SKU number for the mesh in the description box below. Excuse me. Okay. I might have to add more, but for now, I'm going to start out with 4. I'm going to take my gold petal, put it on the very end, slip my zip tie over it, make sure it's in the center, and pull it tight. Turquoise. Lay this one right on top of here. I'm trying to get it really close when I put it on. Here's this part of the gold, and I'm going over this part so that it's overlapping. But you want it to be able to lay down. You don't want it to stand up like this. You want it to be able to lay down, so you just move it the way you want to. Okay, there we go. Tighten this up. Shape it out a little bit and cut it off. Gotta get a drink, you guys. Love my iced tea. Okay, next petal. Grab my zip tie. Put the petal down. Bring it up over that rubber band where I gathered the Rita petal together. And pull it tight. So we're just really doing the same thing over and over. But it's just amazing how beautiful this turns out, all by using a yardstick. Okay, I'm going to put the next one on, which is the turquoise. I really appreciate you guys watching my video. I am live on Facebook every Thursday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you would like to join me over there, that would be great. If you hit that notification bell, you'll know every single time I upload a video to YouTube, or every time I'm on YouTube Live. Okay, I don't know if I want to stop there or if I'm going to add a gold. Let me see. Yep, I'm going to add this gold right here. So I'm going to get my zip tie around here. And this is very tight space. Let me put it on there and see if I like it. Just like I said, this is all new to me. The pattern is not new to me, but making the yardstick cross like this. I made yardstick crosses with pipe cleaners and put deco mesh with the poofs or the ruffles or whatever. I just think this is very pretty. Okay, now I'm going to start on this side. Let me get my zip ties on. I hope you guys can see good. I'm going to start putting my zip ties on this crossbar. And I don't know how many I need. I think I'll put 4 on there. I'm getting ready to make a deco mesh cross with all Dollar Tree products out of 2 candy cane forms. I've made a video out of 2 candy cane forms, but it wasn't all Dollar Tree products, so that's what I'll be working on next. Okay, I have this on the end. Slip this over. Make sure it's in the center. Because you want your ends, you know, this end and this end, all your ends to be about the same amount in from the end of the stick. Okay, so this one like that. Oh, wow. I think I got that one tied enough, guys. Okay. I try not to edit my videos a lot because I want you to see real life. I do make mistakes. Everything doesn't go smoothly every time. Okay, I'm pulling this. See, and the reason why I say just till it clicks is because if you make it too tight, which I may have done this one, if you make it too tight, you're not going to be able to fit the end of the petal in there. So I'm going to have to pull this one down so that it is overlapping. Okay, we have this side completed. So I'm going to start with gold. Get my zip ties on here. Put them on first. I mean, if you can get yardsticks so cheap. So, most people, you know, if you look around, you might have something. Or you can also use paint stir sticks. I've also done that, and I have these are paint stir sticks. I think they're like $1 or 75 cents at any home improvement, home decorating, like, I don't know, Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's. I made this. This is made out of paint stir sticks. And I could have done the same thing with this, but this is like thicker. So I kind of would have had to work a little bit harder to get the Rita petal to lay flat on it. This is perfect to put pipe cleaners on and do poof method or ruffle method or something like that. And, you know, you could use Dollar Tree mesh and just make this beautiful. And it's just 2 paint stir sticks together, and I just painted one side. I wanted to show you that. Okay, we need a few more zip ties. I think it was a good idea to paint this because there are places that I can see through. And I just think it looks nicer instead of having the yardstick numbers on there and inches. And okay, so I'm going to pull these out of the way, scoot this one down to the end. Of course, we're starting with gold because we did on all the other sides. And I want it to be even. I want it to be on here just like the others. I don't want it, you know, hanging off the very tip. I've got maybe 1/4 of an inch before I start right there. And then hold on, guys. This is what I mean about real life. Sometimes it takes a bit. But the end results are very worth it. That's not tight enough. You want to make sure it's very tight. That is very tight. Okay. Moving on to the turquoise petals. I'm going to get a different one. For some reason that one looks kind of wonky to me. Okay, moving on to the turquoise petal. We've already got our zip tie on there, ready to go. Loaded. Not too tight to where we can't get this rubber band part in here, or we would have to start over with this petal. Okay. Now I want to make sure that's overlapping that, and it matches this side, and it does. And if you happen to see the zip tie like inside of there, that's only because the angle that you're looking at it from, it's not going to be visible. Let's see, how many do I have on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 3. I've got 3 on here. Pull my zip tie up. This one's, yeah, I did this one kind of thick. I mean, where I wrapped the rubber band around it. Okay, pull this up. And straighten it out. So shiny. I don't know if you guys can actually see the shine, but it is beautiful. Okay, a turquoise. Now my bow is going to be turquoise and gold. It's going to match the petals. Okay, I can put this one on there, and then I can put one more gold so that I have gold all in the center. I want to thank you guys for watching my video. I try to come up with new things, and I do a lot of things. I make wreaths, I do Dollar Tree projects, just whatever comes to mind. I tried to do. Okay, we need one more gold. Got to put a zip tie there because I didn't have it there. You know, barely tighten it until you hear it click so that you're able to get your petal underneath there. And these all 4 gold ones in the center are almost touching. We put our bow there. It's not going to make any difference. It's going to be really pretty. This yardstick can be cut with a utility knife, an X-Acto knife. I had my husband cut it on a saw, but you know, you don't have to go to those extremes. Just cut it any way that works. Okay, this is our cross so far. I just think that's beautiful. See if you can see it. And it does look blue in the camera, but it is not. It's turquoise and gold. And I think the gold kind of looks white. Okay, so this is the cross that we've made so far, our yardstick cross. We're going to set this aside and make a bow. So hold on just a second. Okay, you guys, now I'm going to make a bow. So let me put the camera down so you can see. I've chose these 3 ribbons for the bow. It's not going to be a very big bow because we don't have a whole lot of space. So I think I'm going to start out with this 1.5 inch turquoise. My loops, I'm only going to make my loops about 4 inches. So twist, put it down in here. I like to have a lot of slack. So go, I'm going to do about 4.5 inches. Twist. Four and a half. And I think I'm going to make 3 loops on each side with this ribbon. Twist. So now I can just line it up with what I've already got there instead of having to measure. Twist. Twist this side so the pretty side's down, and when I bring it around, the pretty side will be up. And again, you guys, please like and subscribe to my channel if you would, and hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I come out with a new video or I'm live on YouTube. Okay, I've got 3 going on with this color. Yeah, I think that's plenty. Now I'm going to come in with the gold, since the deco mesh, the window pane deco mesh is gold. Of course my tails aren't going to be very long either. So this one I'm going to go in just a bit. So I have those at 4.5. I'm going to take the gold and go in at about 4. Twist. Go to 4. This is going to be a pretty bow. Twist. I'm going to straighten out this ribbon a little bit. Match that up. Twist it. Follow the ribbon that's already there, the existing ribbon on the bottom, and I'll be at 4. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 with this one as well. Straighten it out. Make sure that where it's together right here, it's not all kinked up, because then it won't turn out right. Okay, going like that. And this will be the 3 loops on both sides of this ribbon at 4 inches. This ribbon is pretty, but it's not the easiest ribbon to work with. And it gets glitter all over. Now, I like glitter. I also like neutral colors. Okay, I have 3 loops of the gold ribbon on both sides. And then I'm going to come in with the polka dotted ribbon. And I think I'm going to do 2 loops on both sides with this. And I'm going to make them a little bit shorter. So what I'm going to do, instead of going to the measuring thing, I'm just going to make this. No, I'll go ahead and measure. Do this at about a 3.5. Twist. About 3.5. Twist. Follow my existing loop. Twist. And there's these 2 ribbons. Or there's this ribbon with the 2 loops. Okay, so cut this off. Now I take a zip tie, and I do use a larger one for the bow, just because I don't want to take the chance of my stack, which is all these loops stacked up on each other. I don't want to take the risk of them falling, so I get it started before I take it out of the Easy Bow. This is my Easy Bow. I will have a link in the description box below. If it is an affiliate link, I will state that. Okay, now I'm going to take this zip tie, move it around to the back, tighten it, not all the way. Take a pipe cleaner and put it through there, because I have to have something to tie it onto the cross with. And then I like to move my bows or my loops where I want them before I totally tighten it up. Boy, this is a lot of glitter. But the gold deco mesh in the wreath, in the cross wreath, really stands out as well. So make sure all my tails are laying down flat the way I want them. Okay, now I can tighten this up. And cut the zip tie off. And fluff out my bow. And that just kind of covers up the pipe cleaner and makes the bow a little bit more fancy. Cut that off. That way it has that in the center. Okay, now I'm going to take my tails. I'll wait to cut my tails until I get it on the wreath or yardstick wreath, because I want to know, how long I need to cut them. Place the cross back up here. I'm going to lay the bow right here in the middle. Oh, I think that looks so pretty. I'm going to feed the pipe cleaner through the petals. Let's see, how do I want to do this? And around the yardstick. Turn it over. And tie it. This is wire. It's not going to go anywhere. My bow is very secure. I want the back of my wreath to look nice and finished and not have anything that could scratch anyone's door. And there isn't anything on here that would be a problem. And like I said, I'm going to make another one of these wreaths that I'll have in my Etsy shop, which is listed below. You fluff this up a little more again, and then I'll cut the tails. Like I said, I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. It took me forever to get to 100. And it's taken forever to get to 1,000. But I'm doing my best. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Alright, let me cut these tails before we go any further. Let me see, do I want to curl them a bit or just leave them straight? Let me try something first. I'm just going to cut it at an angle. And I'm going to see what it looks like curled. Spiral curled. Same with this one. And if I don't like it, I'll just dovetail the ends and lay them straight. And this gold ribbon is difficult to work with. Very pretty though. Again, my name's Teresa. You're at Perfectly Imperfect Designs. Perfectly Imperfect is spelled perfectly, capital M, perfect. There is no I in imperfect the way I spell it. It's just perfectly, capital M, and perfect designs. My Etsy shop is Perfectly Imperfect US. I kind of do like them curled, so I'm going to put this one at an angle. Make it a little bit more dainty, because this cross is definitely dainty. I think it turned out beautiful. Let me know if you guys think I should have curled these tails or just left them straight. And let me know what you think about the cross, if you would. And the idea with the yardstick. Now my measurements were a little bit off because I used 1 yardstick. So the spine of my cross was 22 and my crossbar was 14. Pull some of this gold out here. Let me see if I like this. I don't know if I like it. I'll have to look at it for a little bit and see what I think. But here it is, you guys. Let me lift up the camera. Oh, it turned out so pretty. Okay, here it is with the bow. Let me stand back a little. Maybe you'll get a better view. All made from 1 yardstick. And here's a view of the back of it. It's all neat. There's nothing back there that could scratch someone's door. Now to put a hanger on this, I will put the pipe cleaner on there, staple it on, and that will be the hanger. But this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos to come. My next project is going to be a Dollar Tree cross made out of 2 candy canes. And it's going to be made with all Dollar Tree products. And it's going to be an Easter cross. So be looking forward to that. And I will see you all next time. Oh, and I'm live on Facebook every Thursday at 7. Please share. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.